So this topic is about singular versus dual mindsets. So singular mindset is like, let's say I'm in one of these negative thought cycles that lasts for hours. For some reason, I'm mad about something or disappointed, angry, and I get stuck in it, right? And sometimes it's hard to get out of those. Yet sometimes I can step outside of it and become the observer and look at that monkey brain of mine, churning and creating negativity. And at that point, it's kind of like a dual mindset. It's almost like I'm two people. One neutral party observing the monkey that's just churning bullshit. We'll just call it that for simplicity's sakes. And I can be in a singular or dual mindset in other moods as well. Let's say I'm with my friends and we're laughing our asses off about something. And then for a moment, I might step outside of that, observe myself, and be like, oh man, I'm having a great time. This is so cool. And be in the dual mindset. So I have a million questions about I'm very intrigued about this singular versus dual mindset, how it can be used. And sometimes it's like a bad thing to be in the observer mode. For instance, I don't know if it's always bad, but let's say you are on stage and you are, giving an improv performance, or you're doing a comedy show or something. You don't necessarily want to step outside of that singular mindset necessarily, because you want to be fully engaged in the topic that you're talking about with no distractions. Stepping outside and being the observer and looking at yourself can take you outside of your thought process that you were in to keep things flowing smoothly. So sometimes I think that's just a hypothesis. I don't know. So it might not always be good, right? So how often do you find yourself in a dual mindset throughout the day? How many times do you go into that? Are there days that you completely forget about it and you've been in singular mindset all day? And then I thought, well, what if the dual mindset is just a ruse or a mirage? And, really, it's really just a single focus that you have, but you're changing your focus. So if you are in the single mindset and you're laughing your ass off, you step outside, you observe yourself laughing or whatever. But is it really a dual mindset? Is it really a second persona, you observing your monkey brain? Or is it really just you shifting your focus from the topic that was making you laugh to now the object, which is yourself? So it's still a singular thing you're focusing on, but you just shifted focus. And so that's kind of an interesting thing, because is it really two people inside? Or is it just one, and now you shifted your focus? Which then, to me, means that you should be able to shift your focus on anything at any time. If you're in a negative mindset, you should be able to shift your focus to cute kittens and be like, oh, this is so much better than negative monkey brain guy. And then the other thing is, let's go back to assuming that there is a singular and dual mindset. Is there a third character inside? There's the monkey brain. There's the observer. Is there a third? Question mark. Something that maybe I haven't used yet. Maybe I just don't know that it's a third perspective that I could easily engage when needed. And what are your thoughts and ideas about this overall? Oh, let me just append this, that being in a dual mindset, it's kind of like checking in with yourself. That's what it seems like now that I've been thinking about this. You're in a negative mind space. You step outside, you observe yourself, you're checking in with yourself. You're having a great time with your friends. You step outside, you check in with yourself. You're like, oh yeah, this is going great. So is that what's really going on? Is kind of a self-diagnostic procedure that's running when you do that. And you just kind of check in with yourself. And if so, like, how often do you do that? Is it quick? Can you merge back into your original focus? How good are you at changing focuses? And then this kind of like, I know this is just one topic, and I kind of want to eventually change topics to moods and like, do you have control over your mood, or is that like a kind of a more chemical thing? You know, you exercise, you feel a certain way. You sleep, you feel a certain way. You don't sleep, you feel a certain way. You know, environmental factors, people that are around you can affect your mood. We might have control over the focus, which can affect our mood to some degree. But then there's those external factors. And what are these moods? What's up with them? Why are there so many? And what are the benefits of being in one mood versus the other? Are you always like, if you're in a mood, like, when do you support yourself being in that mood? When do you like say, yes, I'm in the mood that I need to be in, and I want to like support this. I want to reinforce that, yes, I'm in this mood, and I'm going to express myself fully in this mood. Versus when you draw back and you say, no, I'm in an anger mood, I'm not going to shout at people and like terrorize people. So like, but then again, it's like, what is society's responsibility of supporting the mood that you're in? You know, having empathy for you if you're in a negative mood. Because a lot of times, I think most of the time, if someone's in an angry, crazy, psycho mood, people don't have empathy for that. They want to stay away, and they want to like shut that person down. Like, hey, someone control their kids. So that's like, I guess, kind of now a whole nother freaking rabbit hole of like supporting people being in certain moods. But then like, it's such a hard thing. There's so many directions to go in.